So in this month's video, I'm gonna be mounting up the whole front of the car just to see how it fits. I'm also gonna be mounting the fuel lines and the brake lines that I have in this box right here. I also went ahead and ordered a few miscellaneous parts that I need for the suspension, so hopefully I'm gonna do that as well. The deck lid also needs a lot of work because it was rusted out. So I took the skin off and I'm gonna go to the metal warehouse. I'm gonna buy a sheet of metal and see how well I can cut it and form it over the structure. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to also film the process of getting this brake line and also the fuel line on. The routing and the mounting places of this brake line is basically the same throughout all the years of the first generation, meaning 64 through 73. But when I ordered this fuel line, I pretty much did a mistake because I ordered the wrong fuel line, meaning that this one is for the 68 and I have a 67. The only difference is that the 68 one goes through the torque box and the 67 one goes below the frame rail. So in order to make this fit, I had to cut two holes in the torque box and route it on the inside of it. You can see it exiting the torque box right here in the back, and I also need to put a fuel hose there, and it comes along the rocker panel and it goes all the way to the back. One mistake that I made though is that I welded shut the holes for the brake lines, but that's what you do. You make mistakes, you learn from them, and you never do them again, hopefully. So now what I need to do is I need to drill out new holes. The reason why I did that was because back in the days they used to make holes in here to grease the upper control arms because you didn't have enough place here to put the greasing gun. So a lot of the times the shock towers had holes right there. This wasn't very good for the structure because it also created a lot of cracks. I bought this guide right here, and this is gonna help me drill out the holes just like they were before and help me route the brake lines again. I'm also gonna take these mounting brackets that hold on the brake line. I'm gonna paint them black and mount them on. I also need to make these two holes bigger in order to make the control arm fit. Finished drilling the brake line hose and I also put this sealing on. I also made these holes bigger. This drill bit is pretty much toast, but at least it did this job. I did that on the other side as well. So now let's take these control arms and try to fit them. And as you can see, I'm calling it Shelby drop finished. So as you can see, now we have brake lines. The install was pretty easy, I say. I still need to find the fitting for this right here. And also I need to mount the brake line in the back, but I think I'm gonna do that when I get the rear diff on. So I took another look in the box earlier and I found this guy, and this is exactly what I need. So I changed this cart a little bit and I welded on these brackets because the mounting points right here were the mounting points of the lower control arm, so I changed that in order to put the front suspension. So I relocated the body cards below the frame rails, and now I have access to these spots right here, so I can clean them up real good and apply some paint so they don't rust again. Finished cleaning these spots right here. Also painted them, and I'm also gonna hit it with some undercoating. Maybe it's overkill, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. So with this out of the way, everything is ready to put on the new suspension. So guys, unfortunately, due to the current situation, I didn't have enough time to put on the front suspension, but I will be doing that next month, hopefully. The only thing I had time to do this month was also take care of the trunk lid that needed to be reskinned. So I went ahead and did that, and it turned out to be decent, so I'm going to show you that next. quick fit checkment here. I have the sheet metal on top of the trunk just to see how well it aligns, and the caps are pretty close, but I will have to put it on this structure to have it even more precise. And after that I will make some small adjustments, and I think it will turn out to be okay. Cutting out this sheet metal to fit the structure is pretty easy. The only challenging part was to get that hump in the center, because the old trunk lid had a curve in this direction and also in this direction all the way across, basically creating kind of a hump, small hump in the middle. So in order to achieve this on a piece of sheet metal like this one, you would normally use an English wheel. But since I don't have an English wheel just yet, I just use what I call the Romanian wheel, and that represents beating the crap out of it with this guy right here. And after that I used a hammer and dolly on it, and it turned out to be decent. We have both of the surfaces spread here. I also went ahead and applied this stuff for the sheet metal to stick to it. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the sheet metal on top of the structure, and let's see how well it can fit. Okay, so it's the first fitment check here, since I put the sheet over the structure and the gaps don't really look that good, but you know what, I was expecting this. I will try to massage them into place, do some hammer and dolly on all of these margins right here, and hopefully it will line up better after a few more tries. So I know this month's video was a little bit short and we made very few progress, but it is what it is. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna stay home and see how things evolve. Hopefully I'm gonna do more next month. If you like it, give a thumbs up. Also leave up a comment if you have any suggestions or anything. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna go through my bags of used parts and see what else I can clean and reuse. So yeah, stay safe and see you soon.